All right, listen, this is a quick one. God does not answer prayer because you cried. God does not answer prayer because you prayed. Pay attention. I'm about to reveal a divine secret to us about answered prayers. God answers prayers because according to the timing of your life, according to the calendar of your life, it is time for you to move into the next phase of life. That is when prayer gets answered. So you cannot bribe God with fasting. Fasting is good. You cannot bribe God with sowing seed. You cannot bribe God with sleeping in church. It's okay to go to church. I love the house of God. You cannot bribe God with your tears. Let me tell you, the Bible said in the book of Psalm, in the volume of the book is written of me. Glorious things are written of me. Understand that there is a book about your life written and handed over to your angel. So your angel goes with you wherever you go, follows you to ensure that you fulfill everything in the book about you. Right? The angel goes with you everywhere you're going. The angel monitors you. The assignment of your angel is to ensure that you fulfill everything written in the volume of the book about your life. Now, there is a timing to that book. There's a time for you to graduate out of school. There's a time for you to get a job. There's a time for you to get married. There's a time for you to have children. There are some of you that if God gives you a child right now, you will not be able to take care of that child. In fact, there are some of you that if God gives you a spouse now, you will mess up the marriage because you don't have the character. You don't have what it takes, the capacity to manage your spouse. Pay attention. Because some of us, when we are praying, we think that God is deaf, or that God is dumb, or that God is wicked. God is not wicked. There's a timing to your miracle. There's a divine timing to your promise. There's a divine timing to the prophecy. So most of the time when you are praying, you need to come to a point where you tell God, if it's your will, if this is your time for me to be answered, please answer me. You see, I have a problem with Christians who feel that they can control God or probably threaten God. Some of us, we used to pray and we tell God, if you don't answer me, I'll backslide. If you don't answer me, I'll stop going to church. You know, some people go to God and they are threatening him and trying to tell God, when will you answer me? Won't you answer me my prayers? Did your word not say you will answer me? You cannot threaten God. You can't do that. See, you need to come to a point where you are dead to self, where you tell yourself, Father, whether you answer me or not, I will still serve you. In fact, let me tell you, when you come to a point where you tell God, whether you give me a child or not, I will serve you. Whether you give me a job or not, I will serve you. Whether you give me a car or not, I will serve you. Whether you give me my green card, my visa or not, I will serve you. Whether you bless me or not, I will serve you. Whether you heal me or not, I will serve you. When you get to that point where you make a vow to God that whether he blesses you or not, you will serve him. When you get to that point, that is when that prayer will get answered. Because it's a place of patience. It's a place that you are dead to self. Understand that it's a timing to your miracle. Don't push the hand of God. Don't push it. Some of you are trying to push things. Don't push it. Come to a place of rest. I said rest. The Bible said, in quietness and confidence shall be your strength. Come to a place that you are rested on that issue. When you are rested, that is when God will answer. Now let me tell you, for God to give Adam a wife, God put him to rest. The Bible said that God put him to rest. So he started sleeping. That was when Eve came. Some of you, you are awake. You are agitated. You are running everywhere. You are on Facebook, you are on Instagram, you are disturbing everybody, you are complaining to everyone, calling everybody, disturbing everybody. And God is saying, I have the answer, but you need to rest. You need to come to a point where you understand who holds the answer. God said, I have the answer, but you need to come to a place of rest. When you rest, I will answer you. When you come to a point of peace, you have peace over that matter, that's when God will answer you. The Bible says he will speak peace to your heart. You need to come to a place where you rest and you tell God, whether you give me a wife or a husband, a child, a job, whatever it is you're asking God, whatever you do it for me, whether you do it for me or not, I love you, I will serve you, and nothing will change it. Absolutely nothing will change it. I came to a point in life where I told God, if you don't answer my prayers anymore, I will still serve you. If this is the last prayer you have to answer, I will still serve you. In fact, if you don't do this, there was something I was praying about at that time. I told him, if you don't answer this prayer, I will still serve you. Matter of fact, that was when he stepped in. You need to come to a point of rest, a place where you tell God, my life is not tied to a car. My life is not tied to marriage. My life is not tied to a job. If I don't get this job, I will still be alive. I will still serve you. If I don't get this money, I will still be alive and I will still serve you. See, don't get depressed and desperate to get things. That is why your prayers are not answered. Go through all the Bible. You understand that it is always when people come to a place of rest, that's when God answers them. On the account of Elijah was praying and there was noise, there was earthquake, and and God was not in the noise. He was agitated, he was scared of a woman, Jezebel. God was not there. But the Bible says when there was stillness, when there's calmness, when Elijah came to a place of calmness and stillness, that was when he heard the voice of God. You must come to a place of calmness and stillness. The Bible says, be still and know that I'm God. Be still. On that matter, be still. On that issue, you are fasting and praying. It's good. Be still and tell God, if you don't answer me on this matter, I still love you and I will still serve you. There are times that God, let me conclude by telling you this. There are times you will pray and God will pretend he didn't hear you. He didn't hear you. He will pretend you are not praying. There was a time in my life about 6 or 7 years ago. I went into 40 days of fasting. 40 days fasting, 6 to 6. 6 in the morning to 6 in the evening. I won't eat for 40 days. I was praying about something. God did not say one word to me. And that was right, because I know I hear the voice of God constantly. But for 40 days, I prayed. God didn't say a word. I didn't get discouraged. You know what? On the last day of the fast, in fact, I already finished fasting. On the last day, I was going to the kitchen to get my food to eat. While I was going to the kitchen, he spoke to me. He said, continue to fast. He said, continue the fasting. So I continued. I think it was on the 4th or the 5th day that he came down. That was my answer. On the 4th or 5th day, he came down. So listen, there are times God will test your patience. Some of you are praying and fasting and God is silent. The Bible said that God hides himself. There are times he will hide himself. You think he's not hearing you. He's hearing you. He knows you are praying, but he's testing your patience. He wants to know. If I don't answer you, will you give up? If I don't give you this thing you're asking me, will you backslide? So he will be patient. He will wait. When he discovers that you love him, that no matter what happens, whether he blesses you or not, that you'll still love him, that's when he will bless you. But as long as you are threatening God, questioning him, telling him, if you don't answer me, I give you a deadline, I will backslide, that prayer will not be answered. He will ignore you. He will just ignore you. So why am I saying this? Be patient. Wait on the Lord. Focus on serving God. Focus on your assignment. He will answer you. Right? Now, focus on building the character you need to sustain that blessing. Some of you are asking God to give you a husband or a wife, but you don't have good character. You don't know how to talk. You don't even know how to cook as a woman. How dare you pray for your husband and you don't know how to cook? You are not domestic, can't keep a house clean. You are praying for a husband. Who are you going to marry? Whose son are you going to marry? Who will give you his son when you don't know how to cook? Are you kidding me? You don't respect people? And as a man, you don't have a sense of regard for a woman, don't respect women, don't know how to talk to women, and you're praying for a wife. Are you kidding me? Whose daughter are you praying to get married to? So that thing you are praying about, go and build your character first. Go and work on your character. Whatever it is you are praying about, go and work on your character first. Because, listen, there are people in bad marriages. These people who are in bad marriages, they started as lovers. When they started, they were all over each other. Butterflies was flying in their tummy. They were saying, oh, I love you. They stay on phone for 5 hours every day. Now they are in bad marriage because somebody has bad character. Listen, go and work on your character. Whenever you are asking God for something, ask yourself, do I have the character to sustain this blessing? If you don't have the character, stop praying about the blessing. Go and work on your character first so you can handle the blessing. All right? You need capacity for the blessing you are praying about. Some of you, if God puts you where you are praying about, if God gives you that job, you stop going to church. That money you are praying about, if God gives it to you, some of you will stop serving him. You become arrogant. Nobody can talk to you anymore. Your husband can't talk to you anymore because you are making more money than him. You see why you are where you are. You see why God don't want to bless you, because he has searched your heart and he knows your heart is not right. He knows that when he blesses you, you'll be boasting and bragging and nobody can control you anymore. So he's telling you, sit where you are. I will not bless you until you work on your character. That is why. All right? So instead of praying, sit down and work on yourself. Read books first. Go and work on yourself. So work on yourself first. Then you pray for the blessing. God bless you.